welcome. In this lecture, I want to give a little bit of notation for Z mod MZ. So the first thing to set this up is to recall that, that A is congruent to B mod M, so we have, just use same colors, we can do this. Okay, so A is congruent to B mod M. If and only if we have that, so if and only if A is related to B, right? So, defining a relation by this does indeed define an equivalence relation. Okay, so this defines an equivalence relation. In fact, the relation, so let's do this part in blue. So it's an equivalence relation, actually. Right, so this is one thing to recall. And, right, by the congruence representatives proposition, okay, so, and, so 1, 2, so, and by the congruence representative congruence or congruent? Okay. Representative proposition the equivalence classes are okay. And then I'm going to write these in red, even though I have red there. We're gonna do this again now, suggestively for something else. Oops, sorry. Our 0 bar, 0 bracket. There's going to be a bar in a moment. This is why I keep on wanting to write it. 1 bracket all the way up to m minus 1. Okay. So notation. Okay, so, well, not the same as those things there, so notation. There we go. So 1, we're going to write ZM for this set, which is 0, 1, for this set of equivalence classes. So that's the first thing. Okay, so this is actually the same thing then as okay, kind of. Usually, no, they're the same. We're writing these as a set, but they're going to have a ring structure to them. Okay, so 2. Oh, I dropped the one that I most want. Okay, so I'll go pick that up. Okay, so we're going to sometimes write. So sometimes write. So we're going to write 0 bar, 1 bar. Now you know why I kept on accidentally writing bars. It's just easier notation. That's it. When you're writing something enough times, having something that's like quicker like that actually ends up adding up as it ends up being significant. Okay, so we're going to write this for instead of I'll write so, on top or below often is easier for your eyes to connect up. Right, so we're replacing these 2 side brackets with a bar over the top, so that's just kind of some notation. And okay, those were the 2 things that I wanted. Was just to give this new notation for ZM instead of writing Z mod MZ, and the other part is using the bars over the top instead of the brackets. And this is the set of equivalence classes, right, for Z mod MZ. for congruence mod M. So it's just the set of equivalence classes. But it's going to have a ring structure. It's going to have addition and multiplication, as we will see in the next lectures.